What if the best dividend ETF in 2026 isn't the one with the highest yield, but the one that gives you the best combination of income, quality, valuation, and long-term compounding? That is where SCHD gets interesting. As of July 2026, the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, better known as SCHD, held about $103 billion in assets, 103 stocks, and charged an expense ratio of just 0.06%. Its trailing distribution yield was approximately 3.30%, while its 30-day SEC yield was around 3.28%. But here's the more important question. Why does SCHD remain so competitive when investors have dozens of dividend ETFs to choose from? And later in this video, I'll explain the one feature of SCHD that I think is more important than its dividend yield. If you enjoy practical investing breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe to Financial Literacy Lab, like this video, and share it with someone building a dividend portfolio. Let's get into it. Number 1, SCHD doesn't simply chase yield. One of the biggest misconceptions about dividend ETFs is that the highest yield automatically means the best investment. It doesn't. A company can have a 7%, 8%, or even 10% dividend yield because its stock price has collapsed, or because investors believe that dividend may eventually be cut. SCHD takes a different approach. Its underlying index, the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index, uses multiple financial characteristics to select companies rather than simply ranking stocks by dividend yield. That distinction matters. SCHD is designed around companies that have demonstrated dividend-paying characteristics while also being evaluated on factors such as cash flow strength, return on equity, dividend yield, and dividend growth. In other words, the strategy is trying to answer a more important question than, who pays the biggest dividend today? It's asking, which companies have the financial characteristics to keep rewarding shareholders? And that is a much better question for a long-term investor. Number 2, the 0.06% expense ratio is extremely difficult to ignore. Now let's talk about something investors often underestimate: fees. SCHD's expense ratio is just 0.06%. That means you are paying approximately $6 per year for every $10,000 invested, assuming the expense ratio remains unchanged. At $100,000, that's roughly $60 per year. At $500,000, about $300. At $1 million, approximately $600. Of course, the expense ratio isn't the only factor that determines performance, but keeping costs low gives investors an important advantage because less of their return is being consumed by the fund. And this is where SCHD's structure becomes particularly attractive. You're not paying an active manager-style fee for someone to constantly make individual stock-picking decisions. You're getting a rules-based strategy at an extremely low cost. Number 3, the yield is high enough without becoming the entire story. As of June 30, 2026, SCHD's trailing distribution yield was approximately 3.30%. That might not sound spectacular if you're comparing it with some high-yield investments. But that's precisely the point. SCHD doesn't need to win the yield competition. If another ETF pays 5% but owns companies with weaker fundamentals, while SCHD pays around 3.3% and gives you better quality businesses with potential for capital appreciation and dividend growth, the second option could produce a better overall outcome. Think about it this way. There are 2 ways to increase your income from a dividend portfolio. You can buy stocks that already have extremely high yields. Or you can own companies that pay a reasonable dividend today and potentially increase that dividend over time. SCHD is heavily oriented toward the second idea. And for investors who have a long time horizon, dividend growth can be just as important as starting yield. Number 4, look at what SCHD actually owns. This is where the ETF becomes much more interesting. As of late July 2026, some of SCHD's largest holdings included Abbott Laboratories, Merck, Amgen, United Health Group, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Gamble, Verizon, Chevron, and Pepsi. Notice something? These aren't obscure companies you've never heard of. They're established businesses operating in healthcare, consumer staples, telecommunications, energy, and other major parts of the economy. And that diversification matters. If you try to build a dividend portfolio yourself, you have to decide which companies to buy, how much to allocate to each one, when to rebalance, and what to do when a company's fundamentals deteriorate. SCHD handles much of that process through its index methodology. That makes it particularly attractive for investors who want dividend exposure without turning their portfolio into a full-time research project. Number 5. The 2026 reconstitution shows why the methodology matters. Here's one of the most overlooked features of SCHD. It changes. Every year, the index is reconstituted, which means companies can enter or leave based on the methodology. And that can sometimes frustrate investors. You might love a stock that gets removed. You might dislike a stock that gets added. But that's actually part of the appeal. The strategy doesn't depend on you, or me, being right about individual companies. The rules determine what qualifies. That creates a kind of built-in discipline. And the 2026 reconstitution was a perfect reminder of this. A meaningful portion of the portfolio changed, generating plenty of debate among investors about individual additions and removals. But the bigger lesson isn't whether one particular company was a good addition. The bigger lesson is that SCHD is designed to adapt when the underlying financial characteristics of companies change. That's something an individual investor has to consciously monitor. SCHD does it systematically. Here's the secret. SCHD is really a total return strategy disguised as an income strategy. This is the part I think investors sometimes miss. People look at SCHD and see a dividend ETF. I look at SCHD and see something broader, a quality-oriented equity portfolio that happens to distribute a meaningful amount of its return as dividends. That's a very different way to think about it. Your return can come from two sources: the dividend you receive and the appreciation of the companies you own. If you reinvest those dividends, you create another layer of compounding. For example, imagine you invest $10,000 and receive a hypothetical 3.3% distribution. That's approximately $330 in first-year distributions, before taxes and assuming the yield stays constant. But if you reinvest that money, those dividends can themselves generate future dividends. And over decades, that process can become much more powerful than the original payout suggests. Of course, the actual distribution will change, stock prices fluctuate, and past performance doesn't guarantee future results. But the principle of compounding remains incredibly important. But is SCHD actually the best? Now let's be honest. Calling SCHD the best dividend ETF requires some qualification. There is no universally best ETF. If you want maximum diversification, something like VIME may appeal to you. If you want dividend growth with more exposure to growth-oriented companies, another strategy might be better. If you want international dividend exposure, SCHD isn't designed for that. And if your primary objective is maximum capital appreciation, a broad market or growth ETF could make more sense. But if you're looking for a combination of dividend income, established companies, quality screening, dividend characteristics, low fees, and long-term compounding potential, SCHD has an unusually compelling package. In fact, recent 2026 coverage has highlighted SCHD's approximately 3.3% yield and 0.06% expense ratio as major reasons it continues to stand out among dividend ETFs. And through June 30th, SCHD had also delivered an 18% return during 2026, according to recent reporting, although investors should remember that a strong year does not guarantee the next one will be equally strong. The practical strategy. So what should an investor actually do with this information? First, don't buy SCHD simply because someone calls it the best. Understand what you're buying. Second, consider your time horizon. SCHD is much more compelling for someone thinking in 10, 20, or 30-year periods than someone looking for a quick trade. Third, don't obsess over the quarterly dividend. Instead, watch the bigger picture. Is the portfolio still holding financially strong companies? Is the methodology still doing what you expect? Are you reinvesting your distributions? And most importantly, does SCHD fit your overall asset allocation? Because owning a great ETF doesn't automatically create a great portfolio. Your allocation matters. Your behavior matters. And your ability to stay invested during market downturns may matter more than finding the perfect ETF. If you're still watching, comment below with one word, SCHD if you own it, or tell me which dividend ETF you think is better. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because we're breaking down more ETFs and long-term investing strategies here on Financial Literacy Lab. So, what makes SCHD potentially one of the best dividend ETFs in 2026? It's not simply the 3.3% yield. It's not simply the 0.06% expense ratio. And it's not simply the list of recognizable companies inside the fund. It's the combination. You get a low-cost, rules-based strategy holding roughly 100 dividend-oriented U.S. companies, with an emphasis on financial characteristics rather than blindly chasing the highest yield. And perhaps most importantly, you don't have to predict which individual dividend stock will be the winner 10 or 20 years from now. The methodology does much of the filtering for you. That's why I think the biggest advantage of SCHD isn't actually the dividend. It's the discipline behind the dividend. And for long-term investors, that distinction could be far more important than a few extra percentage points of yield today. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe to Financial Literacy Lab, hit the like button, and share this video with someone who is building a long-term dividend portfolio. And let me know in the comments, would you choose SCHD over VIME, DGRO, or VOO for the next 10 years, and why? I'll see you in the next video. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any investment.